So today I'm back here in the wonderful town of Ocean Springs, Mississippi in South Mississippi, right here in the Gulf Coast. Back here at the Davis Bayou Trail System. Now about a year or so ago, my daughter and I did the Nature's Way Loop Trail. And I got a video about it. It's a pretty nice little trail. But it's closed. Hurricane Ida did a little bit of damage. It's all kind of on a marshy area in here. And they're doing some improvements and making it back right. Now, I actually thought this whole park was actually closed because the main entrance was all barricaded off and, Park Road closed, that sort of thing. So I didn't even think this park was open anymore. I thought it got pretty damaged by the hurricane, but it didn't. There's actually a detour, and I took the detour and led me back to the park system. So here we are again. Now today I am right here where the star is in the parking lot. I'm gonna follow this Davis Bayou trail that runs alongside this park road, and I'm gonna cut back in here to the CCC spur trail, and there's a remnants of the old CCC dining hall, I believe it was. Now I've never taken this trail, so this is all gonna be kind of new to me. Now, if you're not sure what the CCC is, it's the it's a conservation camp. I can't think of what it was. I'll put it here at the bottom of the screen. My mind's drawing a blank. Basically, what it was after during the Great Depression, they created this system, and the funding for it, the government did, to get people back to work, building ecological things, parks, things like that. And this whole system here that we're at was part of that. So, if I'm not mistaken, this area we're going to head to was the dining hall where they had all the people that, where they fed them at for the day and stuff like that. So, we're going to follow this little trail and see what we can find here at the end of it. So, y'all stick around and see what we can find. So you'll hike a little ways through the woods, not too far. You come out here to this road crossing. And right across from this road crossing is this little swampy area. And usually when I come out here, there's handfoot turtles. I've seen alligators. But don't see any today. Here inside this pool of water, you get little minnows. There's a crawfish in there, a couple crawfish in there, and big tadpoles about to become frogs. All inside this pond here, and there's a couple turtles popping up here and there. So when you come out, be careful when you're crossing over the road here. Even though there's a speed limit of 25, you still gotta be careful. Now along the side of the road, they got this little gravel path. We're gonna follow it. It follows the road for maybe an 1/8 mile or so, not too far. You go by this one bayou, you might see some wildlife, some alligators. As you can tell there goes a vehicle. And everybody's usually pretty mindful of you. They'll give you leeway and scoot out of the way. Now last year, my daughter and I were out here doing the Nature's Way trail. I want to say there was a boardwalk that ran next to the road where you could walk on, where you had to walk so close to the road. Well, with that being said, I'm thinking Hurricane Ida might have tore it up and they might have removed it. It's actually here to the left. I'm not going to walk on the left. I'm going to walk on the right because it's a little rough over there. It takes you out this bayou, and all over that way is part of the park. Out there towards the Gulf of Mexico, in the distance you can see Biloxi, Mississippi. So this whole area, I want to say it's about 400 acres, give or take a little bit. There's spots for RV camping, and there's playgrounds for the kids, and fishing piers, and things like that. I'll put a link up here on the top. That some other videos I've done on this place here a couple years ago. But here we're at the scenic overlook. It says 0.2 miles, so just about a quarter mile. I'm gonna walk off this way and see if we can find the overlook and if there's any remnants of the CCC dining hall. And with this slight exception of that little road hike, and it wasn't even an eighth of a mile. Nice little trail. Seems to be fairly well maintained here, as you can tell right here. Very clear and open. Lots of shade. It's a beautiful day. It's right now about the mid-70s. Right here, the first of spring. Extremely low humidity for South Mississippi. I think it's about mid-30s percentage-wise. A lot of people out today enjoying nature and fresh air. I'm gonna keep on walking here, and I'll let you see what I can see. So I've been walking, coming from that way for a decent little bit, and just noticed something. Let me see if you can see it. Still don't see it? I didn't see it at first either, until I got right in this area. It's concrete curb. So I suppose this was a road at one point, because there's a curb over there and a curb over there that led back to the camp. Now, why they didn't include this in the park system, I'm not sure, or why they didn't include it at a later date. You can tell them sections are pretty deep. They're not your normal everyday curb. Maybe they sunk them deeper in. I don't know. You can tell they're right there and right over there. Maybe it was to shore up the road, because there is a bayou right there, but I thought that was kind of interesting. So maybe it actually wasn't a road like we think of as a road. Maybe it was just a dirt road or gravel road we're actually walking on the remnants of, because I don't see them anymore. There's another little piece of history. I'm sure it's got a tale to tell, like a light post or something like that, signpost. Some nice flowers there. Here's more concrete remnants. Looks like a foundation. So maybe this was the dining hall. Coming up to this little overlook. Same style concrete. It's kind of like a circular pattern. Huh. Let's go take a look at this sign. It tells us about it. . So this was made in 1938 in that area. Huh. Very interesting. There's actually concrete on the ground still. It's kind of in little arcs. There's an arc that goes off that way, and then this arc, and then there's another arc that goes off around that way. So very interesting little setup back here. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So I went off to the right of the sign there and followed this little wall around. And the whole form of the concrete changed. It has this groove built into it. And posts on the corners. So I'm thinking this area right here was of some significance. This might have been where the grill was. It may have been where the bathrooms were. I'm not sure. Walking back around here some more. The same type of concrete where it's split. If you know what this concrete was used for, or why these areas like this is shaped like this, let me know in the comments below. I just thought it was kind of interesting that this whole area, there's a wall that runs right down here, squares off. This whole area is squared. Whereas the other, where that sign is, was kind of in a circular pattern. So if you know the significance of why these areas are squared off like this and why this concrete is split like this, please let me know in the comments below. I'm interested to find out why this was, or what this was. Now earlier you heard me talking about the Nature's Way Trail and how it's closed off. This is on the back side of the Nature's Way Trail. Let me see if I can zoom in right here. That's one of the observation points, and as you can tell, it's leaning pretty bad. So looks like the flood waters from the hurricane kind of come through here and tore everything up. So that's why the Nature's Way Trail is closed for the season, or closed till they get it fixed. Now if there would be an alligator anywhere in here today, this would probably be it. Tell there's a little pool right there, kind of narrows up, heads off into that bayou. Now I know you can tell from the distance there's a truck going by. I've stopped there before. Not too far from that road there was a little let's just say island of grass, and there was always an alligator posted up on that little point. And from the looks of it, he's probably at least 12 foot, maybe even bigger. I haven't seen him yet. It wouldn't surprise me if he was right out there. Now with that being said about the alligator, if you go back on these little unofficial trails, you definitely gotta mind where you're walking, what you're walking into, and what you're walking around, such as like that. That little trail I did here a little bit ago, the 12 Oaks Trail, I was walking on a maintained trail and had a little garter snake run out right in front of me. I really wasn't paying attention. and it startled the fire out of me. So just be careful when you're going off trail. A lot of places don't recommend you going off trail because if something happens to you, they got to go looking for you. And it's easier to find you when you're on the trail. That's why a lot of places, when you go camping on these trails, can't go camp on this trail, but in state and federal parks, they ask you to stay within 100 to 200 feet of the trail. And that's usually for if you get sick or need to get evacuated out, they can find you easier. So just be mindful of what you're doing when you do these little off trail hikes like I am. So I'm gonna head on back to the trailhead, head back to the car. See if I can go find some other trails to do today, maybe. Just thought this was kind of a little interesting little hike. About a quarter mile in, quarter mile out. Pretty easy coming from the road. Not a whole lot of sea back here, but the little historical significance of the things that are back here that are left from the 30s and 40s is pretty interesting. If it wasn't for the CCC, there would be a lot of people that wouldn't make it after the Depression. And you know, we think we're in a depression now. We have no idea how bad it can get. But anyways, I digress. I appreciate y'all watching and hiking along with me. We'll see you next time.